All right, what's up guys? Nick Hott here with DFS Gym, and I just want to take a couple minutes here and talk about why it's really important to track your body fat percentage when you're trying to reduce your body fat and look leaner, build a little bit more muscle, and look more toned, okay? Now, this is really important because the number on the scale when you're trying to simultaneously lose body fat and build muscle, that number on the scale can lie a little bit, right? So in this scenario of doing both simultaneously, depending on your body type, you could actually have built more muscle pounds-wise than you did burn fat in a period of time. For example, gain 3 pounds of muscle and lose 4 pounds of fat. You would have only lost 1 net pound, or vice versa. Gain 2 pounds of muscle and only lose 1 pound of fat. You may have actually gained weight in that process. So that number in the scale can lie, but I want to demonstrate here today on how we're actually tracking that body fat, why it's important, and how you can actually still be seeing results even though that number on the scale may have gone up or not down as much as you would have hoped, okay? So we have this hypothetical person up here named Bob, and Bob has said that he wants to lose 13 pounds, okay? We're not worried about the timeline for this, but he just wants to lose that 13 pounds, okay? So Bob's starting points here, he starts off at 208 pounds, okay? That's what he weighed in on day one, okay? And we took his body fat percentage and found out that Bob has 33% body fat. So almost a third of his total body mass is just fat. Actually, a third of it is fat, okay? So that equals out to 140 pounds of lean mass. Now, lean mass is lean mass includes everything of your body that is not fat. So that's bone, connective tissue, that's organs, and that's muscle. So that's everything that's not fat. Okay, so if we see a change in this number, we can reasonably assume that that change is in muscle by itself, right? It's very difficult to change bone density to the point you notice it on the scale. Anything other than muscle in that change could be something like a tumor or something like that. So we really, other than that, what would be an awful situation, we can assume that that change would be into strictly into muscle, okay? His fat mass at this body fat percentage is 68 pounds of fat. Okay, so again, we have 208 pounds starting. 33% of that 208 pounds, that 68 pounds is strictly fat. Okay, now Bob and I are talking here, and we're talking about his goals and when's a reasonable time where he can be happy with what he sees in the mirror. Well, I explained to Bob that what he's actually looking at when he looks in the mirror is his body fat percentage. It's the ratio of his body that is lean tissues, including that good sculpted muscle that we're going to try to build, and what is that fat tissues, right? So when he looks in the mirror, that's what he sees. He sees like the stuff around his waist or maybe his hips or on his chest, right, that he wants to lose, okay? And we want to take care of that for him. Now, I explained to Bob that he's actually going to be happier sooner with what he sees in the mirror, okay? Happier with his body fat percentage sooner if we work on building some muscle, okay, while we're working towards that goal. And here's what I mean by that. So if Bob was going to lose that 13 pounds here, that would put him at 195 pounds when he reaches his goal weight, okay? Now let's assume we did a reasonably good job of working on our resistance training and our weightlifting and stuff that we're doing here. And we at the very least maintained that same amount of lean muscle that he started with. So we maintained that 140 pounds that he started with, okay, during this weight loss process, okay? Now remember, our goal is to try to build some muscle. So when we're having weight loss goals, it's entirely possible if you're just trying to lose weight through running and dieting or doing some type of cardio and dieting, that this lean mass could go down. So we want to really prevent that as much as possible because we like our lean muscle and we want to see that in the mirror, okay? So let's say we did the bare minimum and we kept him at that 140 pounds. Well, when he reaches that 195 pounds, he's going to be at 28% body fat. And that's going to be at about 55 pounds of fat. So we can see that 13 pounds there was strictly body fat that he lost there, okay, from 68 to 55 pounds. Now, as I told Bob, he can actually be happier in the mirror sooner with what he sees if we actually are able to build some muscle and focus on building muscle while he's losing that body fat, okay? So again, just to reiterate, the body fat percentage is what you see in the mirror. That ratio of body fat to lean tissues, what you see in the mirror is what's important, right? This body fat percentage is going to be okay, I don't notice a change on the scale, but man, my belt's fitting different, my pants are fitting different, my clothes feel a little bit looser, I feel leaner, I don't feel as much jiggle. That's body fat percent, okay? So let's say now, in this next scenario, we actually got Bob to build 5 pounds of muscle over the course of this fat loss, right? So at his same goal weight, that 13 pounds, Bob, with those extra 5 pounds of muscles, he's now at 25% body fat. So he's lost more percent body fat, which means he's going to be happier with what he sees in the mirror. And that's only 50 pounds of fat mass at that point. So again, if he reaches his goal weight of minus 13 pounds and we built some lean muscle in the process, that's a leaner figure in the mirror. He didn't have to lose as much weight to be happy, okay? And what I mean by that, in this last column here, let's say that, he wanted to reach that 25%, okay? If Bob wanted to reach this 25% without building any muscle, if we were saying that he was still at 140 pounds lean at the end of this, he would have actually had to have gotten to 186 pounds. So that's an additional 9 pounds from that original 195 goal that he wanted to reach, all right? So that had been 22 pounds total lost, okay? So what we're trying to tell Bob here is that he's going to be happier with what he sees sooner by building some lean muscle, even though that means progress might take a little bit longer for him, okay? We're getting a higher quality result out of that, all right? So I really just wanted to make sure that you guys understood what it means to have that higher muscle mass in terms of body fat percentage and what you're going to see in the mirror. So one last time through it, starts off at 33%. We want to get him to 195. Okay, that's what he wants to be. But if we build some muscle, we can get him to have a lower body fat percentage at that 195 as opposed to if we didn't build muscle. All right, guys? If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon, and don't forget to sign up for your free trial. Thanks.